Okay, so welcome to our last class. This is number 8. Can you believe we've all been together this long? I feel like we're all friends, and I just, oh my goodness, I love you kids. You've been so fun. So I'm doing kind of a review. This today is very open-ended. If you have your own ideas for any of these mini lessons, please jump in and put whatever you want into your stuff, but we will be reviewing some of these elements and principles of design. But let's start with this page. So Azure and Valencia, you don't have this. So you just do your own warm-up in your sketchbook. So this is kind of an abstract piece. I took a picture of my sidewalk. It was actually at my parents' house. And it was kind of this interesting, I don't know, a weird shape. And then I kind of blew it up, and then I printed it in black and white. And now we're just seeing a value study. And we talked last week about the element of value. And so this warm-up today sounds strange, but this is all abstract, weird shapes. They're not meant to be anything. So now it's your job to look with your artist eyes and open that artist heart. And now starts the connection of the head and the heart and the hand, and see if you can start finding things in this that make sense. I'm going to use my colored pencils and my markers and see if you can. This is what artists do. We look at the ordinary, we look at the mundane, and we try to make sense, and we try to make, we add our magical touch. So I'm going to kind of turn this and be thinking of, what are some possibilities? So I'm looking right here, and this looks like it could be a fox. And you can kind of add colors to it and little shapes to it. I mean, it's not a perfect fox, but that nose kind of came down, and there's some eyes. Okay, so out of that shape, I found a fox. And you're all going to see things differently than I do. And that's the beauty of being an artist, is we all have that, our own creative eyes and creative heart that adds to it. Oh gosh, this looks like a little panda bear. And that nose is already in there. So there's another shape I found. I found a panda bear in there. And this is kind of a weird exercise, and the more you get into it, the more amazing these shapes look, and they start coming to life, and they start talking to you, and they start becoming creatures or whatever. Do you have a question, cute girl? Ms. Zoe?
Gabby wanted to know if she could do her own design.
It's always the right answer, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Have her try this though. It is, I mean, it's your own design, but it really is a good warm-up to just kind of open your heart and get into it, if she wants.
Okay.
But if she doesn't, sip away on that Chick-fil-A, and it just looks delicious. Did you guys go to Chick-fil-A today?
I think we went last night, and she wanted to take her cup.
Yes. You're the best. Oh my goodness. Gabby wants to know if she can do her own thing. Has Gabby ever asked that in her entire life? Say yes every day. Say Gabby does her own thing every day, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
No problem, of course. Yes, today is wide open. I just want you to enjoy supplies, enjoy thinking of the different elements of art, enjoy the different designs, and this is just a little warm-up to get us started. I like it. It could be too that you find things that aren't necessarily even a thing. They don't need to, you don't need to make sense out of them. Maybe you just see really cool ways to shade. And I love my colored pencils for that. And of course, I just found a heart, because I always find hearts wherever I go. The language of love. So yeah, just explore that for a minute. It's almost like you're doing a Where's Waldo, you know those books? Do any of you have those books that are where you sit and stare and you see the little guy? It's like you stare long enough and Waldo starts appearing. This guy looks like a weird dinosaur. Let's see this guy. You could also just practice tracing shapes because there's some pretty cool design ideas here. I'm gonna give that guy some fire coming out of his mouth. Some of them are just like monsters. Like it's easy to find a lot of eyes. There's a one-eyed monster. Has anybody found some shapes that are kind of cool that you would want to share? Has anybody looked into that? Who's got something interesting? Oh, we're still painting our target animals. Ooh, okay, let's look at this one. Nice.
I don't know what it is. It's just like a dog or something.
Yeah, perfect. Yes, now if you want to grab your markers or your colored pencils and bring that to life, add your own little details to it. It's like it just starts, I don't know, this abstract kind of starts our brain into thinking of little characters. Perfect. Job, Judy. How's it going, Matt? Are you finding any?
I found two things. You might not be able to see them, but let's see. So I found like a little mouse type thing.
Oh, I see the outline around his face. Yeah. Awesome.
And then I found like this little thing at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's kind of cool because it's like the negative space on the outside makes that wider space become the positive space. That's awesome. Good eyes, good artist eyes. And if you want to add color to them, then great, perfect.
Okay.
So today I'm going to be doing, while you're working on this for a minute, I'm going to just keep chatting for a second. You're going to need all your supplies from the past. You for sure will need a bowl of water for your watercolors. We're going to do some washes. If you have a brush that's bigger than those little teeny tiny guys I gave you, these guys aren't great for covering the Mod Podge. Mod Podge is this stuff. It's kind of like Elmer's glue, but it smells kind of funny. And that's what we're going to put over our whole collage at the end. And it's nice to have a brush maybe this size or a foam brush. I don't have a foam brush handy, but those little pieces of foam, they're about that wide, just to cover a little bit easier. So those little tiny brushes, oh look, Buttons have one. Thank you, darlings. Yes, here they are, the models of the day.
I found something. A bunny.
Oh, cute. Of course you did. He's darling. I love it. What's your bracelet you're wearing? Did you make that?
No, Scarlett made it for me.
Oh, Scarlett, is she the cutest thing in the whole world? Possibly.
Yes.
All your cousins are so fun. Cute. Okay, so did you see their foam brushes? Hold them up one more time. If you didn't put your eyeballs on, put them on. Yeah, awesome sauce. If you don't have one, then you know what? We'll just deal. Hey, Sage buddy, what's going on over here? What are you finding?
Elena.
Show me. What? Oh my goodness, guys, put your eyeballs up and look at all of the treasures that our Sage has found. Those are amazing. Talk to me about them, Sage. What are they like? What's going on? Nice, Luella. Wow. Do you guys want to tell me about them? Do any of them?
There's kind of some in every angle.
Yeah, you're turning your page. That's awesome. It's kind of a weird activity, but for some reason, I can really get into it and like lose time and lose my mind over just these shapes start talking to me. I feel like I have little monsters or something or creatures.
No, Sagey has a question or wants to tell you something.
Tell me, Sage.
What?
What?
My friend has a little cat.
A kitten.
Are you kidding me?
His name is Leo.
His name is Leo the cat? That is so cute. Does that friend live by you? Do you get to see that cat sometimes?
He came over today.
Oh, I love a little cat. Yeah. I bet Drew will get you a cat, Sage. Just ask him enough times, do you think?
They only have one.
Well, you probably need some kittens too.
No, they have two cats.
How did your cat,
One is the biggest. One is the smallest and one is the biggest.
oh my gosh. How did they do with the move? Are they all settled in? Are they okay?
Yeah, they're good.
That's awesome. Sometimes they don't love a move. You must have a good cat. Oh, cuties, I love it. Is that the greatest fam or what? Anybody else have something they want to share? And then I'm going to start talking collages. I have kind of a lot of little activities today, and I'm going to move us along pretty quickly. And like I said, if you have your own ideas of what they should look like, then go for it. But I think I might incorporate this into my collage in the end. I love the textures and the values and the patterns in the background. So I think it makes a pretty cool background. And Azure and Valencia, if you can stop by at my house and grab that, all that stuff is in the kit. So, okay. Lily and Gwen, are you guys finding anything? Sometimes it lets me unmute and sometimes it won't, and I don't know why. Hi.
Is that what?
Yeah, gotcha. I hear you. Perfect. Do you want to show me what you've got? Finding stuff? Oh, wow.
Maui.
I love it. Look how she's outlined it with the markers. That really makes it bold.
And this one I think is the most realistic because I think it seriously looks like a frog.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? That is so funny. I have not seen that. It's fun for me to see what you guys start seeing because I see them totally, we all see them differently, right? How about you, Lily? What are you finding? Anything? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, a butterfly too. Yeah. Oh, and it's like a unicorn guy or something on the end. It's fantastic. Isn't it fascinating? And this is really a lesson that we can take on to life, is that I gave you the same pattern. Everybody has the same pattern and the same abstract designs. And each of you comes to it with your own information, your own thoughts, your own artist eyes, your own experience and artist heart. And you are seeing things that nobody else is seeing. So that's kind of true in life. A lot of times a situation which you think everybody's looking at the same situation, but we all come at it with our own experience. So keep in mind that when somebody else looks at something differently, say, oh, wow, you have a different perspective, and that's okay. That's the beauty of art, though. We're looking at the ordinary, kind of the mundane, and you, just by adding your artist's eyes and heart, are making it extraordinary. So you're amazing beings. I want to talk to you while you're finishing up about collages. And a collage is the idea of taking lots of little different kinds of art and different kinds of things and putting them all together and making them into one. My mom is so good at collages, and she's the one. I was talking with her, I'm like, what should I do on the last lesson, trying to figure out all the things. And she's like, Jill, do a collage. And she's so good at collages. So I sat up at her house and she pulled out her boxes and we started talking about it. And here's some examples of a collage. There's a pretty strange one of maybe some pictures cut out of a magazine or some photographs that are copied, and papers, like almost scrapbooking papers that are cut up in different designs and shapes. So this artist is really understanding positive and negative space and balance and lines and kind of incorporating everything. So that's why I wanted to do a collage today. Got these pieces out of a magazine. Sometimes they're really strange, and sometimes a collage doesn't mean anything. Sometimes a collage is about you or a person, and you can try to pick all the things that mean something to you. And sometimes it's just plain abstract. So put your eyeballs on the screen for just a minute so I know that you can get a little of this inspiration. This is a little strange. It looks like they've grabbed eyes out of a magazine or something and added words. And when you put things together, you can also go back with your mediums, go back with paint and marker, whatever, and go on top of it too. So it can layer into a lot of ways. This was just somebody finding lots of different purples, ripping them up, and look at the shades they found, the values in that face and that hat. I think that's remarkable. How about that Starbucks cup right here? We got words all over here. Maybe like a book that was ripped apart or a newsprint. So anything goes with a collage. How about that face that somehow they found words that are closer together so it's like a darker value and it looks like a shadow in the nose. And the hair, all these one-liners looking like hair. I think they're just so fantastic. It's so wide open. So when I tell you today's class is wide open, you're welcome to just add whatever flair you want to any of these mini lessons. Look at her hair. It has like a person and something in the shadow of her nose. That's a collage that wasn't taken from books or magazines, but rather just drawn out with different lines and different shadows. Positive and negative space all over. This looks like a Matisse. Matisse is a famous artist that would add these black abstract pieces on top of color. Had to throw in some birds, collage out of birds. How about this bird made with all the colors? Isn't that cool? Perfect example of a collage. So put your eyeballs up there for 1 second and check that bird out. We've done a lot of birds, so I thought I better throw in birds. If you want to make yours look like something, great, but it doesn't have to. You can add words. You can make it personal. Create art, lots of different words. So this is really wide open. So I'm gonna move kind of quickly and do a bunch of mini things, and then we'll be cutting up. The other part about a collage is you can't get too attached to your artwork, because we're gonna go back and cut things up and then start using things as design and shape. And I had a class once in college where we were doing collages, and I felt like I had done like these different masterpieces, and he's like, okay, now cut it all up. I'm like, oh geez, I just worked all this time, I gotta cut it up. So well, you cut it up and put it together, and then this collage comes together. I'm like, gosh, this is coming together, it's kind of cool. And he's like, cut it up again. So then that collage we had to cut up and then start putting in. Then pretty soon you got totally unattached to what that was. It didn't really mean anything other than pattern and value. And so it was a good exercise for me. I like to pull in art history whenever I can. This guy is named Kandinsky, and he loved to do these circles. And obviously he came after Picasso, because remember Picasso, the king of the abstract art, he gave him that free ticket to say, hey, you can do anything abstract and call it art. And he became famous for these gorgeous colored circles. So we're gonna do some colored circles for a minute, if you want, unless you have some other ideas, that's okay too. But I want to show you how these can play in. Look at Kandinsky circles. This is somebody being inspired by Kandinsky, making a collage out of it. Love the words in the background out of books or magazines. So if you have things you want to add to it, if you have books or magazines or newspapers that you want to add, feel free. We don't have that much time, but always a possibility. So I'm going to set this guy aside, because I'm going to incorporate that at the end, my little warm-up guy. I'm going to start with this I've given you 2 black papers. There's a long one and then the square one. So I'm going to start with the square one, and I'm going to do some Kandinsky circles, and I'm going to do it with oil pastels. Oil pastels are gorgeous on the black. They're pretty fun to do it this way. And Kandinsky used lots of colors. So start with, there's a few different ways to do it. And again, if you see that black paper and you're like, you know what, this would look like a really cool flower, I would rather do that. Or this would look like a really cool fox or a bird, feel free. We're gonna cut it up anyway, but I just wanted to explore the colors. You can do one little dot in the middle and build your circle on the around that, or you could do a few dots, maybe 3 or 4, and then start building your circles there. But I just thought I would throw in one more famous artist in our last lesson, so we're pulling some art history in too. So Kandinsky circles, I'm not thinking too much about this. I'm just really intuitively picking up colors and saying what would be nice next. I started with some dots, and now I'm just going to fill in the space around, building circles. Lots of ways to do it. If you want to leave the in-between open, so there's some black stripes, that's kind of cool too. I'm gonna pull you into gallery view here. Give me a thumbs up. Are we doing okay? Is this making sense? You okay? How about, yes, thanks, Hallie. Awesome. How's Miss London? Give me a thumbs up. You good? You ready for some Kandinsky? Azure and Valencia. I think Katie has a question. I'll come back to you in 1 second. Oh dear, hit that. Oh, here we are. Hi. Hi, look at you just improv. You've got all your supplies. Do you have some oil pastels handy?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you have black paper, great, but this will work great on white paper too. So try some Kandinsky things. It looks to me like you have figured out your own supplies. What smart little girls you are, for heaven's sakes. I'm just glad you're here, okay?
Is it okay if I have glue stuff on?
What'd you say, sweetheart?
Is it okay if I have glue stuff on?
Heck yeah, man, collages, anything goes. If you're using a hot glue stick, maybe do it at the end and have a parent help you.
Okay.
Or pay attention. Okay. We're gonna put Mod Podge on at the end. It kind of seals it all in, and after that layer goes on, it's almost like plastic, and you can put hot glue on top and put ribbons and buttons and whatever. Hurtados, you doing okay? Hi, Eli.
He's in a bad mood.
Eli, how could you possibly be in a bad mood when your haircut is so rad?
I don't like it.
You are fresh off the press, man. Who cut your hair?
My dad.
Hey, he's pretty good. Did he know that he's a hair stylist too? Or is he just figuring out his skills?
He just does it.
I love it. Did he do David's hair too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Good, I get to see that tomorrow.
Oh,
No,
wait,
well,
he didn't have David do it. David didn't do
How's
it
the
so long.
Kandinsky going for you guys? Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
If
I
you're
mean,
doing
I
your own thing, that's totally okay too. You guys always have such interesting ideas. So, all right. Now keep in mind, you might cut these at the end. So you might at the end say, I have the best circles in the entire world, and you're so excited. And then don't start crying if Miss Jill tells you to cut them up. I'm going to keep building my circles till I run into the edges. This is exploring the element of color. It's also exploring that positive, negative space a little bit as we hit the edges. So we're going to keep reviewing and talking about all of our elements of art and our principles of design. Mine, I guess you could talk radial symmetry with a circle, but I certainly don't have regular symmetry throughout. If I put just two next to each other and made them the same, then it might have been symmetrical, but mine are definitely not. I'm gonna go all the way to the edge, as if it wasn't even there. I seriously love oil pastel. Something about it being so gooey and bright. Okay, I'm about there. Okay, does anybody have one that they want to show before I jump into the next? Like I said, I'm going to move you kind of quickly. Oh, yeah, wow. Dude, that looks awesome. Nice, Eli.
Yeah,
Oh, look
I
at this.
have red in
What'd you say, sweetie? Now they're going to
I
fight.
have red in mine, but you can't really see it.
You guys, that looks awesome. You know what, Hallie? It's really interesting how you spread those. You started with 3 dots and you kind of stayed with one. And so now we've got like a big and then the smallers. These are awesome. Good job. London, cute London, all the way from St. George. Did you cut your hair? Wow, aren't you the cutest thing? I didn't notice the first time. Maybe your blanket was wrapped around you. Ooh, okay, here she is. Look at this rose. Are you kidding me? That is gorgeous, London. What made you think of doing that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's fantastic. This is what's so amazing about kids is, man, you guys just come up with it. I'm telling you, I need to just leave supplies on my porch and then say, start teaching the class because you guys always know what you're doing. You are so creative. Nice job. Are there any last pieces that or people that want to share what they're doing, or do you want to just keep going with it? Katie, did I see your whole hand there? Hey, Katie. Gotcha, unmuted. Oh, now it's muted. Hit it again. Sorry, I did it at the same time.
Okay.
Ah, let's see it. Ooh, nice, Kandinsky. Love it. Don't you love it when colors blend into each other?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It looks a little dark because it's black paper.
Yeah, isn't that fun? I love mixing it up. Perfect. You doing okay, Matt?
Yeah.
All right. How about these buddies? Hey, do I have gray in there? Oh my goodness.
Right here.
Whoa. What's this one? That's awesome.
Sage, look, she's pink.
Sage, what the heck?
Show her yours.
You're on that.
Drew, show her
Hi.
yours.
Hi.
Drew did it.
They've got the whole family in here. Whoa, look at Drew's. Oh, so awesome.
Here, you're on the back.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Oh, look at you, little one.
okay.
These are cool. These show up kind of cool on the white paper. It's kind of
Good job, you guys. Wow. This is, do you guys know, I'm telling these tweens, a lot of these people might know Drew and Marissa from Corner Canyon. So put your faces in there, Drew and Marissa. There's Coach Drew.
Hey, everybody.
He coaches the soccer over at Corner Canyon. He coached my kids, and then he's the Spanish teacher. And Marissa works over there too in the counseling department. Say hello to the Van Wags.
Yep.
Yay! Some of these kids are.
If you want a good Spanish teacher, don't take Mr. Van Wagenen.
No.
He will be your fave, just so you know. Awesome. Thank you. You guys are doing amazing. I'm so glad you're here tonight. That was perfect. I have a million kids that shifted out of this class and tomorrow's going to be packed. My mom, as I was sitting with her, has this book. She has all this stuff about art, and it has all these really cool collages that are in black and white. So it kind of inspired me looking through there. Element of line is big in here. Interesting faces, lots of layers. I've got some really cute little friends, hurtados, want to show their final business. Let's see it, guys. Oh, look at how she filled that whole space. What'd you say, sweetheart? Holly?
It's a firework.
It's fireworks. Look how she used her pen or her pastel. Gosh, this is awesome. Put your face over here, Eli. Hold it up. I'm taking a picture of you.
Ouchie.
Hold it up. Yeah. Oh, and they're smiling. So nice and so cute. Good job, guys. Let's move on to the, well, as you're ready, I want to show you then this other artist is this black and white idea. And white oil pastel shows up so cool on the black paper. So I gave you that long piece. How about that snake? I'm thinking of positive and negative space when I'm sharing this. The background is really important, as is the foreground or the lines. Element of line is really incorporated into this. Look at that element of line, and then taking a photograph and cutting it out and incorporating it. Little Mod Podge on top to seal it all in. Great textures. This is the it's the implied texture, so it looks like it's bumpy or it looks like it feels a certain way. All these layers. Sometimes collages can be actual texture because you can throw yarn in. Oh, look at the positive and negative space with these guys. Interesting. So reviewing positive and negative space, I'm going to take this paper, and sometimes it's easier when I tape it. I'm going to take my white pastel. Again, if you have other ideas that you want to be thinking of positive and negative space and lines and incorporating, go for it. But I'm going to do my white pastel, and I'm going to just be thinking of shapes coming in and out and hitting those edges so that we're incorporating all of the space here. I like that snake. Bringing in the element of line, broken lines, continuous lines, thick space. It's kind of an abstract snake. Maybe it just needs a cool shape. That doesn't really mean anything. But thinking of maybe a flower comes off of this edge. I love that white oil pastel on that black paper. My gosh, we could do some really cool things just staying with that idea. Not spending a ton of time, but just really enjoying that black and white pattern. Put that throughout the background. So there you go. I'm as simple as that. That was just a few minutes, but it's kind of its own design in itself. And then at the end, we'll kind of do all sorts of things to those. Oh my goodness, we lost our Pappas girls. I wasn't paying attention. Where'd they go? Where'd they go? What'd you do? Just head back down to Chick-fil-A or what's going on?
No, our Wi-Fi hasn't been working.
Oh shoot, got a little jiggy. Mine does the same. Sometimes it just kicks me out. Well, I'm glad you're back. I wasn't paying attention and all of a sudden it was like, they're in the waiting room. How long have you been gone? I didn't even notice. I'm so sorry. Where
It's a while.
you're like, we've taken a nap and mowed the lawn.
So tell her that it's glitchy.
We might get disconnected again because it's really glitchy.
Okay, no problem. I'll send the link and you can watch it or you can, yeah. Hi, Jennifer.
Just say what, I'm sorry.
Okay, friends.
Hey, Jill.
Hi. Yay. I have friends. All these friends. I'm going to just log in and see all my friends. That's the best. Oh, there's your face. Hi. Hello. Where'd she go? Okay, so Pappas girls, I took my black paper, the one that's long, and the white oil pastel, and I'm starting to incorporate those positive and negative spaces and just making design. So it doesn't really mean much. I shared a book of some different patterns, but we're thinking of positive and negative space. And that was for that other white paper. Again, if you have, London just jumped on and thought she needed a rose and whatever, it was gorgeous. So Zoe, I showed this artist that does these awesome collages of layers and layers and layers of, look at all of the Zentangle, so element of line, but then definitely bringing in the positive and negative space on top. So collages, layers is kind of a good word to talk about collages, but I was really inspired. Look at these funny characters. Zoe, that's something you would come up with. Those guys, aren't they funny? Or Gwen, I could see Gwen coming up with one of those. So fun. So this is the idea of, that's kind of what I was looking at, the positive and negative space with the black and white. Okay, does anyone have one they want to share? Either the Kandinsky or the black and white or something totally different they're coming up with? Is that Miss the Buttons? Yes. Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Let's see it. Oh, gorgeous. Ooh, hey, can I ask, were you inspired a little bit by London? Wasn't her flower gorgeous? Isn't that amazing and powerful that what we do as friends in a class? That's why it's so cool to be in a class together, because we look at each other and that triggers things in us when we see parts of us in them. So London, thank you for sharing and trying that new thing. Look what you inspired Katie to do. And that wouldn't have happened had we not all been here together. So even though we're in our own houses and on this computer, I really still feel connected to everybody, and it's pretty cool. I hope you can look at these faces and be like, oh, you know what? I have some friends, new friends, old friends, whatever. How's it going, Matt? It looks like you're doing something really kind of cool. Gosh, you guys, put your eyeballs up here. If you're not looking at the screen, put your eyes up for a minute. Isn't that so fantastic? Katie, hold yours up next to him at the same time. I want to get both of these. These are so cool. Wow. So Matt, what's inspiring that? What's going on?
I don't know. I just started just drawing squiggly things.
Are you liking it? Because I'm loving it. That's pretty cool. That's another part of art. Sometimes we're like, what? How are we going to start? What are we going to do? I don't know where to start. And he just nailed it. We start by just starting. Hi, Gray. Whoa. Hey, guys, if you don't have your eyes up here, do the same thing. Look what Gray has brought to the table. So fascinating. Look at those shapes going right off the edge. He's got cool colors on the outsides and the circles, warm colors. Did you purposely do warm and cool, Gray?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know what, I can tell you have a pretty good understanding of those things, and we're gonna do some warm and cool colors coming up here in a minute. That's awesome. Hey, Sage Pie, how's yours going? What are you working on? Hi, Sage. I love families. They're the best. I love them. Yay, it's so fun when everyone shows up together. So great. Did you have a question, Pappas? Zoe, Gabby?
I wanted to show you this.
Okay. What is that?
So it's for this art project that we did for my art class.
Oh my gosh.
Like a split complementary thing, I think.
And was it a collage? Is it different papers layered, or is it all just on one?
So basically what I did was I just painted the turtle, the background, and then this up here.
Oh my God.
And then in Sharpie I did this stuff.
So is that on a black paper or a white paper?
It's on white paper.
You know what's cool is I can't tell, because your positive and negative space is so well balanced that I can't tell if it's on a black paper or white paper. That was so cool. Thank you for sharing. That really looks like our collage, and that's a way to do collage, is to design it out and do different parts of your paper in different projects or different ways. Or you can do it this way, where you make a bunch of projects, cut them up, and glue them together. But that looks kind of like a collage, right? They're kind of different little pieces.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Oh my gosh, I get so inspired by you people. You're just amazing. I'm gonna pull you into gallery view, and just give me a thumbs up, I'm ready to move on, or a thumbs down, or Jill, I just need one more minute, would be a medium thumb. Are we ready to move forward? Matt's ready. Okay, Hurtadas want to share. London's like, no way, I have a masterpiece coming. Ooh, nice, Luella. Wow. Oh my gosh. Lily, did you give me an up or down? I didn't see. The thumbs up and Gwen. Okay. These Hurtados are having a blast over here.
Okay.
Let's see what you got, guys.
You copied me, so I had to change my idea.
Whoa! Wow! So I went with just the white, but they've pulled in this color and nailed it. Those are awesome. And I like, Eli, that you can get inspired by her, because you will never do the same as her, because you have a different heart, right? Yeah, but to be inspired is okay. That's just awesome. This is what I love about teaching in a classroom, is that we all give to each other and we teach each other. I'm going to keep moving, and as you're ready to go, jump in. If you're really invested in another part, then stay there, not a problem. But I'm going to move on to these two white papers. This is watercolor paper. They're a little bit thicker than that other paper. So I gave you, by the way, this white paper here, this one that's the biggest, is just wide open. So if you come up with another idea that, oh gosh, my collage needs one more piece or one more part, do it on this in whatever way with whatever medium. So I'm not going to do anything with this, but if you have something extra to do, that's just a free floater. I'm going to use these two watercolor papers. They're the ones that are a little bit thicker, so they'll take the water nicely. And a lot of you have done this. If you've been in my class, you've heard me talk about this process before, but it's a process that you can do a million times. You'll have a different experience with it every single time, and it's a really nice tool to understand, or a concept to know. And we're going to do watercolor washes. We've talked about color, so I want to now incorporate, like I said, I'm trying to kind of do a little hit on all of the different parts of our, oh my goodness, we just need to take a peek though really quickly. Katie, that's so gorgeous. Thank you, London, and thank you, Katie. Oh, you two would enjoy each other if you could hang out. I just can't wait till I get you all in my classroom again. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. So we've talked about the color wheel. So Gray gave me a great little intro to this. we're going to talk a little bit about the warm and cool colors. I've discussed it in here this session a little bit, but last winter session, whoever was in that one, we really got into color theory, and we talked a lot about tinting and shading and value and warm and cool, mixing, all the things. But so a quick mini lesson, the warm colors, I know I've mentioned it before, are the colors of the sun, anything that's warm or hot, yellow, orange, red, or if you were to touch something, fire that would be hot, you think of those as the warm colors. Then the cool colors are like the sun goes down and the night sky comes up, got blues and purples and greens. So those are my cool colors. So I'm gonna do 2 washes here. One's gonna be warm and one's going to be cool. I'm gonna use my watercolors. I'm gonna start with water. Did I mention a minute ago to get your water? Everyone will need water. This brush is about perfect. I gave you little tiny baby brushes in the very beginning, and they're a little bit little for this project, but if it's all you got, then go for it. No big deal. I'm going to start my wash with covering. I'm going to just do one at a time, okay? So I'll just do this first one, and I'm going to cover the whole thing with just clear water. You're going to have a hard time seeing it because it's clear. But these washes are so fun. By the way, if I forgot to mention this in the beginning, if you're in a kitchen or close and have some salt that you want to, we'll put some of that on at the end too. If you don't have any, it's no big deal. I know Sage would have some from his kit from last week. We used salt on glue. So if that's handy, pull it out. I'm adding pretty good amount. I don't want to go back and forth too many times because that paper will rip. It's not that thick. But I want to make sure that it's wet enough. So now this is a true essence of watercolor, is we're allowing the water to move the color. And it's almost like we work backwards when we're doing watercolor. So there's the water. I'm going to start with the warm colors, these 3 right next to each other, yellow, orange, and red. And I'm just going to kind of juice them up with water and then just plop them in. And then I'm going to just kind of let it go. I'm going to allow, I'm going to add a little more water. Allow the water to create the design. This is called a wash, a watercolor wash. They're so fun because they don't have to look like anything. They do their own, they just make their own designs. It's kind of like doing a tie-dye t-shirt. Gabby and Zoe are good at those. It's like just throwing the color and seeing what's gonna happen with it. So I'm just letting it drip. Mine's up and down and yours is flat, so obviously mine's dripping down, but I'm gonna pick this up at some point and move it and try to roll it around a little bit. But this is called a wash. And if I stick to the warm colors, these colors won't get muddy unless I add the cool colors. They're complementary colors, and then it would turn brown. So the reason I'm sticking to the warm colors is so that it doesn't, they kind of stay pure. So look, as I hold this up and kind of move it around, I can manipulate it a little bit and roll some of those drips around and see if I can roll the colors. Ooh, look, now it's all coming down like the sunset. It's so awesome. I like it. I can get, yeah, this, you can kind of just lose your mind just watching how they roll into each other. And then I'm gonna take that salt. If you have it, if you don't, it's not a big deal. If you have a little salt shaker, put some in your hand and take some, and then just pinch some of these on here. Salt is a crystal. If you were to look under a microscope, it's kind of the shape of a crystal. So when you add it to this and it kind of disintegrates, you're gonna see it turn into the shape of crystals. And it kind of, I don't know, I think it's cool. So fun to play with. Again, it's not really looking like one thing. We're just letting the wash, and now I need to let it dry. Letting that wash kind of make its own shape. You do want to try to fill in, cover all of the white spots. See if you can get it all the way over. A lot of times a watercolor artist will do a wash and let it dry and then come back in and put layers on top that maybe look like something. But you might do a wash for like an ocean or a sky, and you'll block it in, fill it with water, and then let that watercolor do its job. So here we go. I'm gonna do, this one is now my cool. So I'm covering that whole paper with water. I know I'm moving kind of quickly tonight. I'm to get a collage in. I mean, we really could spend a few days on this, but I'm just doing just mini lessons. And again, if you have your own ideas to do on this watercolor paper, whatever, you got it. Whatever goes. This one is the cool colors, and I don't know why they don't keep them in order, but we have the yellow, orange, and red. Those are the warm, and the cool are blue and green. Then you pop over here to purple. So those three, blue, green, and purple, are the ones I'm going to be doing on my cool side. And again, drop it with, put water all over it, and then just get these little specks in, and then let the water do its part. I know some of you have worked on this in my class in the past. I could do a whole session just on watercolor. However, I'm not very good at watercolor, but I really enjoy it. I like playing with it, but I don't profess to be great. I think watercolor is really hard because of this whole, it kind of does its thing. You really have to let go of what it's going to look like. Sometimes it has a mind of its own. My mom's pretty good at watercolor. Her sister's really good at watercolor. She's like a professional watercolor woman. Not me. But I do like a wash. So fun. So after I've kind of filled, it's like a tie-dye. Now I'm going to roll it around and watch it and try to, ooh, look at that guy doing 90 on the bottom. So you can kind of play with it and say, okay, I want that bead to just drip all the way down. Just start playing with the water and the movement. And then I love to add a little salt, and it's, you won't see the crystals until it's dry. So we're doing this earlier. I guess I could have started with it, but I didn't. So that it will dry when it's time for us to cut up. All right. There you go. Now I have my oil pastel Kandinsky, got my positive and negative space and element of line over here, got my watercolor washes talking about warm and cool colors, little salt. How are these darling Van Wagenen girls that are just making it up with all of their, they have Mod Podge, which is perfect. Show me what you guys are working on, because you're kind of just got your own supplies. I'd love to see what you're creating. What do you got, Azure?
I got this.
Whoa! Hey! Is that watercolor?
Yeah.
And are you putting the Mod Podge over it?
Yeah.
I love it. You got to make sure the watercolor is dry before you hit the Mod Podge, or it will smear it. But maybe you want to smear it, so that would be okay too, right? What are you working on, Miss Valencia? Hey, are you trying that watercolor wash? Looks like you are.
I'm trying to do that trick like you said a few times ago. When you take the purple is next to the red, so it makes it more cooler.
Perfect. Yeah. I love that you're using that language. Those are called analogous colors. Can you say that word? Can you say analogous?
These colors?
Analogous means they're next to each other on the color wheel. So anytime that you are wanting to mix colors and you don't want it to go brown, you're going to grab analogous colors. So look at Miss Jill's, I'm going to show you because you're talking about it. So red and purple they're next to each other, right? So you mix those and you're going to get that red violet there. So whenever you pick a color that's next to another color on the color wheel, you can mix them and really nicely make a medium color. It's good to know though, if you want to make brown, you'll actually hit the opposite. It's called the complementary color. And the most beautiful browns come from red and green mixed together, and yellow and purple mixed together, and blue and orange. So when you understand that, you say, oh, I don't want brown, so I'm not gonna mix complementary, or there's times when you're outside painting and in the landscape that you would want brown. So all the little color theory mini lessons we're pulling into this. Who else has something that they can share with me before we take a little break? Maybe, oh, Sage has got something. Let's see what's going on. Hey, pal, what are you working on? Okay, I gotta hit that. Look at that wash, Louie. Whoa. Have you done that before? We did it a little bit in the, I don't know why it's not unmuting you. Oh, there you go. I got you. We did a little bit when on our sketchbooks, our 2 sessions ago, right?
Yeah.
But that is wow. Show me that again. And if you don't want it to, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. Oh, I love it. What are you doing, Mr. Sage?
He doesn't, not ready to share yet.
Okay, no problem. I can tell you're so busy though. I love to see you paint over there. Look at that. You are being so careful. Oh, geez, Louie, those colors. And you got a great smile too. Wow. Working hard. Is Gray painting? Is he out of the picture or is he just
Taking a break.
taking a break? Is great too. Yes. Not a problem. Thanks for sharing, friends. That was awesome. Ooh, I've got something from Zoe. Let's see here. Hi.
Gabby wanted to share.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Hey, are you using acrylics?
Yeah,
I love that. What'd you say?
couldn't find my watercolors.
I kind of like the acrylics. Hold that up again.
I tried like mixing like the warm and cool color.
And that's working just like I was talking, Gabby, just a minute ago. You're using analogous colors next to each other. Analogous meaning they're next to each other on the color wheel. So you're putting them in order. And then if they mix between each other, you can keep mixing those colors between each other, and it becomes like really smooth and fluid to where you can't even see a difference between orange and red. It just blends. That's awesome. Good work. If you haven't taken a little break, you can do a little stretch and have your little lifesaver and have a drink or whatever you need to do. Hi, London, with a cute haircut. London, guess who else got her haircut yesterday? Her name is Miss Jill. I have never been happier in my whole life than to have somebody working on my hairdo because it had been like 12 weeks. So I kind of feel like we have the same hair right now. Do we? Hold your head up. Let me see. Hi, Jody.
Hello, I was just saying how cute her hair looked because it looked like yours.
I'm saying the same thing. I was like so happy to get a little trim. I'm like, oh, it's a little short. And then I'm looking at London. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I could look anything like London, I am loving it.
So it looks adorable on you too.
You're
So cute.
I love that you just keep heading to St. George. Why don't you take me with you? I think you're so rude.
Come with us next time, Jill.
Okay.
It's heaven here.
I bet. Don't you feel like that? I'm sure.
Yeah, we don't want to.
Worth a lot though.
We never want to leave. It's just, you just leave all your cares behind.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, thank you for driving all the way back just for me to pick up the kit. It's probably why.
Of course.
Right?
We wouldn't have it any other way, Jill.
I love you, Jody. Oh my gosh. Yay. Okay, let's see what you got, Miss Gorgeous. Miss Cute Hairdo. Jody and I think I've said this before. Ooh, nice wash. Ooh, it's still trying to drip even. Did you put salt on it too?
No.
You need salt?
Salt's kind of fun. It makes it, you don't have to, but it turns it into, oh look, mine's happening. I'll show you mine. This friend of mine, Jody, I grew up with. We were tiny friends together. And it's so fun to reconnect at this stage in life. Jody's always just been the dearest, and her family has always been so good to me. So fun to have kids that we share. And okay, I gotta show you this. Okay, look up at the screen for a minute to see what the salt did to mine. Can you see the crystal patterns? So look up for just a second. So if you truly are trying to do a wash that you don't care that it looks like something and you want to just let it go, then the salt does its own thing. You have no control over it, but that's kind of a fun part of it. This one didn't crystallize as much, but a little bit. So salt is a crystal, and so it kind of just goes out in that pattern. And as I touch this, I'm changing. Okay, so take a little break if you need to. So far I've got 4 pieces, actually 5, that I could add to my collage. I'll probably just do a couple more minis. Anybody else want to share what they're doing? Some of you are doing things different than our washes or whatever else. Does anyone want to share? Katie, did you want to share, sweetie?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
I just barely finished my warm colors, but.
Oh, you guys, look at those. Wow. Oh my gosh.
When do I take the salt off? When it's like dry?
Yeah, you let it dry completely. And the salt kind of, I mean, sometimes it just becomes a part of it a little bit, but you can just kind of dust it into a garbage can, but let it be totally dry because you want it to do its thing. And it's doing its thing while it's wet. So allow it to totally dry. And then if you don't, I mean, sometimes I just leave the salt on and I just say, who cares? And I'll put the Mod Podge over, so it doesn't really matter. I kind of have your haircut too. Wait, yours is a little longer.
Yeah, mine's like right here.
Oh my gosh, so cute. All these great people in my life. So lucky. So I am going to talk about, and I think you're all pretty comfortable with the element of line. We'll get into that for a little bit. Hey girls, what's going on over there? What are you eating, Gwen? Is that homemade bread? You better bring some over. Oh, salt. She's eating the salt. That's really good. Are you really, Gwen?
Yeah, you like, so you don't twist it, you just like, there's some on the top, so you pour it into your hand, then you lick your hand.
And you like the taste? That is so funny. I would never do that in a million years. But my mom can't get enough salt ever. So she likes salts her salt. And she's always eating salt. And I'm like, whatever. I think she salts her potato chips. Gwen, are you in the middle of taking a break where you could go get your hedgehog and show the Van Wagners? They would think that was like the craziest thing ever. Are you in a breaking point?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for my things to dry. So.
Okay, good. I'll move on to the next lesson. Lily, do you want to show me what you've been working on?
Sure. Okay. I put a crap ton of water on here, so. But
yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, I don't want to mess up your design. It's still drying. Yep. Have you done much with washes before?
Not really.
They're so fun. Yeah, love it. All right, these friends Gwen has been part of my art classes. I think she's one of the, I don't know, she started my very, very first, and she's keeps coming back, and she has gotten these hedgehogs, and I can't tell you how many designs that she's done in clay or paintings or whatever of her hedgehogs, and they're super cute. If you need a break, take a break. Now's a good time. Oh, do you have something to say, Matt? You trying to tell me something? Yes or no? He says no. Okay. Okay. Let's check on Eli, and then we'll come back to hedgehog. Hi, Eli.
Okay. Are you ready for this? Oh, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Whoa, friends! Wow. Look at these washes. Are you kidding? What is that one too? You guys, those are amazing. What? Oh my gosh, what's the white thing that you got going, Helen?
No, don't bring Mozzie over here. Stop, she was asking you a question.
Where did you start with that? Did you just intuitively just jump in and start that? Holy smokes, that is gorgeous. So that takes us into our next piece, the element of line. I love it. Thank you. That is so amazing. Hey friends, for our break, here's your halftime entertainment. It is a real thing. Can you believe this is really alive? Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen in your whole life? Sage and Louie, you gotta look at this. Okay, hold him up again, Miss Gwen. Louie, look at this. Look. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Hey, come on, come on. Where's his face? Oh, you guys.
Oh,
Oh, he is so cute. Look at this. Can you believe it? Oh, he's holding his toes. Oh, one of these days I need to get over and check that out. I don't think I've ever in my entire life actually held a hedgehog.
well, there's a risk of danger because you could get salmonella from hedgehogs, so it's kind of like
You
wait,
can?
yeah.
Even
I mean,
your own?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Hold him up again. We've got to blow him a kiss. He's so cute. Goodbye, hedgehog. I can't remember its name. You've told me 4,700 times.
Emerald, but I call her Emmy, so.
Oh, Emmy, we love you, Emmy, and that little nose. Yay! Everybody say goodbye to Emmy. Is that the cutest thing? Oh my gosh. Hi, Emmy. Thanks for coming to art class today. Guess who heard? Come here, Gus. Gus just heard Emmy. Gus, come here. You can just say hi. Come on, say hi. Now he laid down. There's Gus. He wanted to say hi to Emmy. Okay, you don't.
No, it's not.
All right, friends. Let's move on here. Any other questions, or we doing okay? We move on? We do have a couple questions, and then, oh my gosh, we're running out of time. I never have enough time. Do you have a quick question? Hi, Brooke, over there. How are you?
I can already see what the salt's doing.
Oh, there we go. Look at those designs. Can you believe the texture? Awesome. Have you done that before, Miss Katie?
Yeah, I think it was in one of your classes
I think we played around with it before.
when your mom was there.
Yeah, she loves watercolor. She's always throwing in her tricks. She has all sorts of tricks. Perfect. Okay, so we got one here, and then I'm gonna move on. Hi.
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 So,
Whoa, wait, I muted you or something happened. Hold on.
okay.
Okay, there you are.
So after like the wash, I remember like I made this in 5th grade.
Ooh, nice. Yes, those are a wash. Did you tape it down first?
No. Well, no, yes, I did. Yeah, and it still has the salt on it.
Wow. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing. Hey, did you enjoy the hedgehog?
Yes.
Good. Thanks, Gwen, for the hedgehog moment. All right, friends, here we go. So my next little die, I gave you 4 little Zentangle papers. So these guys, you can do whatever you want with them. I'm gonna use at least 2. And I'm gonna start with, I'm gonna do 2 more baby projects, both on these little squares. One of these, this guy is like rough. It's got paint all over it. Okay, I'll tip us down. I'm gonna work on this one. I'm gonna pull out my Sharpies, and now I'm strictly gonna think element of line. So we've done this a million times. We're gonna Zentangle. If you'd like to put something important to you, I'm gonna do a J for Jill. So I'll just start with a block letter. I'm gonna divide the space a few different ways. Something interesting. There we go. Now I'm going to start just with lines, all the different kinds of lines that we know, and I want to add different colors on that. So I can do straight lines. I could do warm colors on the inside, cool colors on the outside. I could stick with all blues or all greens. So if you want to have your color mean something, you could stick with just black and white. That would be cool too. So just take a minute and make some sort of treasure that has the element of line. I'm just Zentangling. Got curvy lines, I have broken lines, continuous lines. You can use little symbols, you can use polka dots or triangles or stars and repeat those. That becomes a sort of line, it's called a broken line. You can do checkers, zigzags, lightning bolts. I was thinking I would do something with the colors like warm or cool or something, but no, I'm not. I decided not to. All right, I did kind of just a quick one. There's a Zentangled J. So that will incorporate somehow into my collage. I got a lot of really eclectic things going on. I say eclectic, I mean lots of very diverse, different kinds of art. Like I said, today's kind of a review. Throw it all out there. I'm gonna put you in the gallery view. Give me a thumbs up if you're doing okay and you kind of know what you're doing. Thank you, London and Hallie and Matt. Perfect. All right, Gwen, thank you, perfect. Lost Azure and Valencia, taking a break. Gwen is still eating salt. Gwen, I don't know why that is good. Gwen, what are you doing over there? Gwen, have you like been running marathons lately and you're dehydrated? No. You just like the salt. It's okay. I look up, I just see Gwen eating salt. Busted. You girls doing okay with these next parts? Okay, perfect. Hi, let's see what you got.
I finished my second one. So.
Nice, my goodness. Whoa, I love it. So I didn't even think to incorporate the acrylic. I didn't know if you would have extra or not, but why not? Jump in with the acrylic. I love acrylic
I
paint.
have like 5 bins full of acrylic paint.
Okay, perfect. Good deal. Show us your stuff, Zoe.
So I'll show you the sketches.
Oh no, you don't have to. Oh yeah. Oh gosh.
And I did that, and
I kind of wanted to see your toys. Yeah.
they just have a base coat.
This is bath toys at Target. What?
Yeah, they were $1.
Okay.
$1 section.
I like it. I'm like a dollar spot. Okay. I would like to do one more piece after the Zentangle, and I might be moving way too fast. So yes, no. Am I moving too fast? Give me a thumbs up like, yeah, okay, I'm doing okay, I can move forward, or maybe still working on Zentangles. Okay, Eli and Hallie and London. Awesome. Gotcha. Let me check in with Valencia. Hello.
My mom was wondering what time it ends because we have to go to dinner soon.
Yeah, you're fine. It always goes 4 to 6. It's the same every time. Yeah. And I'll send you the recorded piece, and you're welcome to pick up your supplies at some other point. If you want to rewatch it, great. If not, no big deal. You can do whatever you want. How's that? Are you going somewhere great for dinner?
Yeah.
Where?
Hot dog on a stick. Hot dog on a stick.
No, you really are. That sounds delicious. Is the mall open where you can go to hot dog on a stick?
There's just by Nickel Cave. Yeah.
It's what?
There's one by Nickel Cave.
And there's no one in Draco.
I don't even know that there's a hot dog on a stick. What the heck? Okay. Awesome. Yes, you just check out whenever you need to. You can just end. It's no big deal. No one's taking roll here. All good. It's a little, see you later, cutie. It's a little tricky when you don't have all the papers or whatever too. So no big deal. Bye, sweetie. Thank you for creating with me, little Miss Valencia and Azure. I can't believe we're at the last one. I'm gonna miss you guys. I am getting my summer camps on my website soon. And we're just gonna do kind of mini classes. It won't be a big 8-week session, but I am gonna keep it still virtual. Not quite ready to do it in my house. So let's see. Do you have another question, my cute friend? Did you have another question? Oh no, okay. I sure love you girls. Thank you so much for being part of our art this session, okay? It's really fun. It's been fun to get to know you. Just darling, darling girls. So thank you.
Thank you, bye.
See you later. So I want to do one more element of value to throw one more element, okay? So we've got color, we've got texture, we've got line, obviously, space, color. So let's do value. We talked about that last week. So I'm going to pull out these guys that we had last week. That graphite pencil, the blending stick, an eraser. You can just sit and pull all the time. And I'm going to start into a value piece. I'm going to talk to Sage here for 1 second. Hey, Sage, when you're ready, I have a few extra. This older class goes a little bit longer, so if you start finishing up and you want to do your collage, Sage, there's a really fun way to do it. I'll give you a quick mini lesson. You've done these with me before, haven't you, Sage? Yeah? So did you get a great big paper in your kit? So Drew, there's a big white paper that has a contact page. I'll show you.
What?
Okay, friends, a quick little detour for my little person here. Yeah, you got it. So when he's ready, I took all the little art pieces. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna zoom on me so you can, or come back to me so that you can see what we're doing here. So if you go where the tape is on the top there, first of all, have him cut up all of his pieces, the different art pieces ready to stick on. And if you take that top layer off, you have to kind of undo the tape and then peel that top layer, and it's contact paper, so it's sticky under there. And I leave it, I traced around it so they can see. Sometimes when it's clear, it's kind of hard to know where it is, so I taped it back on. So you just take that sheet off, and then they're gonna take all of their cutouts and lay them on that contact paper. And then I took the beads and just played with wrapping them in different ways on those pipe cleaners. I left it pretty open I didn't put a bead down on these edges so that it could stick between those contact papers. There's yarn and there's these cupcake things they can cut up, lay them all out on that sticky page. And then there's one more page, and I just dropped it and I can't see it. I don't know. There should be one more contact paper in there, and then you'll just, when it's all done and laid out and the handle's on there, then do the same thing with that other contact paper, rip it off and line it up and put the sticky sides to each other, and they stick, and he's got his own collage. So that's a quick mini lesson for Van Wags, and then I'll move on to the others. Did that make sense?
Yep, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you got all the pieces. Hey, Sage, you've done collages like this with me before. Do you remember making one that looked like this with our, do you remember doing one of these with our primary colors? Do you remember doing that? Remember, Sage? Maybe, I can't remember. I think you were there. Anyway, so that's the lesson for the mini people, and it's different for my biggers. So, okay, I'm going to do a quick mini lesson on value for anybody who's wanting a piece of that. I talked last week about, I taught you how to do the sphere, and I have to go on a piece that doesn't have, it's not bumpy, so I'm just going to draw a circle here in the middle, and I want to just do a mini shading, and so it's just a little baby guy. I'm going to roll the back, fill that up with graphite, really dark. We had kind of done this mini lesson last week, so this is a good little, it's kind of a review. That graphite, that's a 10B pencil, fills in really thick and dark, and it moves really easily. I'm going to leave the table part or the bottom half white. I'm going to think of my light sources coming from over there, like my window, so that will be the highlight. Therefore, the shadow comes opposite. The shadow is darkest and crispest right as it hits the object, right under that sphere. The whole shadow is pretty dark, but it does fade and get a tiny bit lighter as it moves away from the object and disperses, and the edges also get fuzzier as they move away from the object. So you can take your blending stick. It really gets it kind of precise. A little bit fuzzy on those edges. You can do anything with this value. You could shade an eye, you could shade lips, you could do, I don't know, a cube or a box, or doesn't have to be a sphere. Look, I had enough graphite just on my blending stick. I didn't even add any to the ball, and it came right off. I'm going to give it just an overall value of bringing it down to maybe a 3. That core shadow is maybe a 5. Got tape that's showing through here. You've got a little reflected light down on the bottom there. That's pulling from the table. Crisp up those and use my eraser to get my highlight in. Crisp that up a little bit. I've got a piece of tape under that's not letting me do that. Oh, anyway, my ball just turned to a really weird shape. And then the highlight is your brightest spot. And clean up the table. There. All right, I got all my pieces. If you want to add extra, you've got this little guy. Hallie was doing something cool on that. You should have 2 more little squares. You can use them as entangles. You can use them as other little art pieces. Our time's kind of rolling, so, oh gosh, I gotta see this though. Wow, Katie, that's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's see it. Oh, now we froze. Is this Jill's? Oh yeah. Oh, nice.
Black.
Yeah. What'd you use, sweetie?
These are the colors I used.
Oh my
These
gosh,
colors.
so gorgeous. I love it. Amazing. Good job. Do you want to try one more little value piece? You don't have to do a sphere. You could shade, I mean, anything. You could have anything and try to just add that value where we're the range from dark to light. Awesome. How you doing, Matt? So focused.
What?
I said, how are you doing, big guy?
Good.
Focused. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, what good kids you are. My goodness. Okay. Lots of mini lessons. I'm throwing it all at you. What have you got, Hurtados?
So are we gonna be using our gummy erasers?
I just did for my value piece. Yeah. But that's all. Just and now tonight's the last night. This is just all your supplies. You can do whatever you want with them. Is that okay? Do you have your gummy eraser?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. Try a value piece. It can be anything. It doesn't need to be a sphere, but that's just one of the little babies that I put in. Awesome. Okay, you keep working on all these pieces. I kind of gave you a lot of things. Do you have something to show, London? Or no? It seems to be not showing. Oh, let's see what she's got. Wow. Oh my goodness. Wow, friends, look at this. When did you do that? London, when did you do that?
Yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Hold it up again. Let's see it. Oh gosh. You are so busy. This art, it's your language, isn't it? Yeah, you're amazing. How do you feel when you're into a project and just doodling and drawing and shading? You feel pretty calm? Pretty stress-free?
Good.
Yeah, good place to be, isn't it? You're amazing. Yay! Okay, I'm going to show this next step. I know you might not all be to this spot, so if you don't quite finish right during class time, that's okay. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you all the directions. So I'll go ahead and you keep working and just listening if that's okay. I've got this tag board that you should all have, and this is the background that we're going to glue everything on to. I hope you have some Elmer's. Did I say that in the beginning? Elmer's would be great for gluing all of your things on, and then we use Mod Podge at the very end. So these are looking like, yeah, these look pretty dry. So if I want, Katie, I could go do it in your sink or over a garbage because it gets all over the floor if you just do it at the table. But if you would like to kind of shave off of the salt that's sitting on the top, or just leave it and put the Mod Podge over it and it's there forever, that's a possibility too. So I'm gonna make a pile of all the little treasures. And this guy, I'm gonna start, I like the texture and what's going on for that as a background. You might like the tan better if you want to have that as your background, so it's playing in and out and there's different parts of it coming in and out, then that's okay. But I think I'm gonna use this guy through the whole thing. Of course, a lot of it will get covered up, but it feels like a design. It kind of feels like that book I showed you of my mom's, where there were lots of different layers kind of underneath and then pieces added to it. So I just used Elmer's, and I'll put the Elmer's over the whole thing. And like I said, the Mod Podge will come after that. And then now you get to decide how to do this. You might not use all of your pieces or all the parts to all of your pieces, but I'm going to start just cutting them in interesting shapes, and then I'll be kind of layering them and different patterns on the collage. So this one I'm going at an angle. There's no right or wrong here. Maybe you'll cut out shapes that make sense. Maybe you want to cut out little flowers or cut out little people or animals. Like I said, you'll have kind of a pile, but you don't necessarily need to use all of them. And I think this one, I think I'm going to just cut that right down the middle. So making a pile of, I don't think I'll cut the little guys. I'll just leave those. All right, now I have a pile. I'm not going to be able to do this very easily because mine is upright, so I can't lay it down and kind of see. But it makes sense to lay things out and get your composition figured out before you start gluing. I'm just going for it because it's upright. So I'm going to just start messing around with composition. There's no right or wrong. It's a very intuitive process, which means you're just kind of listening to that artist's heart say, oh, that feels good, or no, I don't like that. I'm going to make a shift over in this direction. And again, you might not use everything. I'm going to keep going with those patterns. So I'll throw the worms on top. You want to be thinking of balance, meaning if you have a lot going on in one corner or really dark colors in one corner, then you'll want to kind of balance it and put some of those colors up in the opposite corner so your eye can kind of want to go to both sides. So that black feels really heavy to me over on that corner. So I want to balance that by bringing it in on this side too. That's called balance. Collages are fun because there's no right or wrong. It's just kind of practicing. I somehow got a lot of the same shapes. You should cut them cooler than I did. Cut them in circles or something. Yeah, that's way better. Oh. There we go. I like the circles way better. You might not use all of your pieces. You might want to add more. Use those extra little papers. is like all the things we learned all session long. We talk about all these different elements. Where's that guy gonna fit? I don't know. Tuck in behind. This is why it's better to lay it out before going for it, because then you can layer it differently. There we go. We want it underneath there. Anyway, after you kind of have it laid out, like I said, I would lay it out and then start gluing it. And then your final job will be to cover the whole thing in Mod Podge. And when you do that, I highly suggest having something underneath your paper. Because this Mod Podge, it's really just like Elmer's glue. In fact, if you don't have Mod Podge, you could use Elmer's glue and it would do the same thing. However, Mod Podge, I think the one I gave you has a little gloss in it, and I kind of like the gloss. All right. But be thinking of your Mod Podge like it's glue. I have a lot of edges. I'm going to use that foam brush or the bigger brush. I have a lot of edges that are sticking up. Before I go over everything, I'm going to go tighten those edges up. So look at this. I'm going underneath because it really does work like glue. I don't want them to stick up and off of that. And once you put the Mod Podge on, it's going to take a few hours. Just maybe leave it until overnight. And then the whole thing will be kind of this solid. It's almost like there's some plastic in there or something. Mod Podge has water in it, right? So if you go over back and forth, if you go over your watercolors, you will kind of liven that paint back up and it will move and it will smear. So while you're applying the Mod Podge, think of just kind of doing one stroke down and then leaving it and not going back and forth a million times, because you will, it's possible to kind of muddy this up. So I'm getting those corners down because I didn't do a very good job gluing. Mod Podge will do it for me. And after it's down, I'm going to take the whole thing and just cover the whole thing. It kind of just seals it up. One big layer. And it smells, but I kind of like the smell. And you might not get to this till tomorrow, or maybe you're into some of these projects and you want to go further or add other things. You could even, you know what would be cool is those little birds that we did. What if you did that? Look at this. You could cut those out and put them in. That would be cute. I just thought of that. You can add magazine stuff. You can add photograph things. Collages are wide open. If you run out, throw Elmer's on it. It will really do the same thing. I hope I gave everybody enough. Yeah, that graphite even wants to smear a little bit. So just do one pass and then let it be. There we go. I think I got it. It will dry. It looks white, but when it dries, it will be clear. And it will just all really be sealed there. I don't know that you will all finish tonight, but I did want to make sure that you had all of your directions. Here's another one I did last night. I like that one better than my tonight's. I don't think my tonight's worked out very well. I like this one better. Whoa, buttons, look at this one. So she decided not to cut it all up. She was like, you know what, I am loving these washes and I just want to lay them side by side. That's the artist license you get, and that's gorgeous. Good job. Awesome. Is that on the tag board, sweetheart? Yeah.
What? Yeah, it's in the
That's, yeah. Have you Mod Podged it yet?
No, I glued it with Elmer's.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that works too. The glue stick is totally fine. That Mod Podge will kind of seal it in. So, yay, you're doing great. Does this all make sense to you, sweetie?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Smartest girl ever. Love it. How are the hurtados doing?
Getting
Are you busy cutting up? And Hallie, when you cut up, does it make you sad? Like, oh no, I can't cut up. Or are you okay with it?
Yeah, mixed feelings.
Not mixed feelings? No feelings? Hmm. How's yours going, Eli?
I guess.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There's a collage. That's the spirit of a collage. That's awesome. Good work. So you just went right to the tag board. You didn't put that piece underneath first, did you? I love it. Everyone kind of does their own thing. It's awesome. There's not a right or wrong way to do this. So let's check in with Sage. He had kind of different directions. How did that go over there?
It's not dry yet.
Not dry. Did you try the contact paper or the sticky stuff?
I don't think so. The sticky paper, the clear stuff.
Yeah, the contact paper.
No,
that,
not yet.
oh, his paintings
so
are still.
first. We need to cut everything.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, the watercolor. He needs more watercolor. So
Yeah.
the hodgepodge for gray. Well, is that for putting on this paper? The hodgepodge.
Yeah. Well, I just use Elmer's or even a glue stick to attach it, and then I use that. The Mod Podge is just the clear thing over the entire thing. So, like,
Okay.
can you see?
So once you put it on here, then that Mod Podge goes over that.
Yeah. Yep. See how this this is my last night's. So now it's like sealed in kind of because it's
As a
all
layer to
one
cover and
plastic piece kind of. Yeah, and that's all.
Okay, so that's the other collage, or you could use the clear paper one to put everything together, right? It's kind
Yeah,
of two different.
Sage's age to mini creators. I didn't even give that tag board or the Mod Podge. I just gave the contact paper. So he's gonna cut up and just put it on the sticky contact paper. And then the older kids will glue it onto the tag board and then put the layer of Mod Podge over.
Okay, I got it. We're gonna start cutting and putting stuff together here.
How long has this been in here?
I gave you a lot of directions over there on Wagons. There was a lot going
No,
on.
I got it. I think we got it though.
You're awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
I love it. And he's cooking dinner and painting cabinets at the same time. Isn't it great how we all multitask? How are my Papa's girls doing? Whoa.
We're doing okay. I
What's
think.
that? How about you, Miss Gabby? You doing okay?
Yeah.
All this making sense, and all the painting of toys too? Ooh, what do you got?
Well, I'm gonna glue this down.
Wow. Wow. Did you do that tonight?
So no, I printed it out in black and white, and then I just started drawing on it. So this is gonna be my background.
Okay, hold that up again. She printed it, a totally different design, started painting it. That is the spirit of collage. You can just reuse and redo and print and photographs or whatever. You cut it up and you do it. That's awesome. Thank you for, that's really innovative. I'm so glad that you're jumping in. Good stuff. Those are awesome. Anybody else want to share what they got going? Oh, Ms. Zoe did. Sorry, I ignored you.
1 sec.
Go ahead. I got you unmuted. Oh, now you're muted. Hit your unmute again. All right. Ooh, are those your washes?
Yeah.
Good job. How'd they turn out?
Yeah, okay. I put a lot of salt on them.
Sometimes salt can overdo it, huh? They can make them awesome or they can overdo it.
And then I did this.
Ooh, wow, that's looking very Matisse. Do you know who the artist Matisse is?
No.
Looking like it.
And then I did this.
Gorgeous. Ooh, it looks like a little macrame like hanging. Gosh, Miss Zoe, these are awesome.
Thank you.
And so you haven't cut up yet, obviously.
No.
Okay, perfect. You're doing awesome. Okay, and she's painting toys in the middle of it. See, multitasking. Pretty impressive. So cute. My heavens, I can't believe we're at the last night. It's silly. And, it's been such a fun session. Something totally new for me. I've never done online art classes, and all of you were so kind to just give it a whirl and give me a chance and give it a try, doing something different. And I have loved it. I've just loved my time that I get to tune in to you cute kids and have chats and conversations and get to know you better. So thank you so much for participating. Like I said, my summer classes, I'm going to keep doing the same idea of, but they're going to be mini sessions. I think I'm going to do, I was working with IKEA and I've got some things I'm trying to figure out, but I thought, Zoe, of doing like a fairy and a gnome garden and have that be a theme. It would be like a 2 or 3 week where you just come once a week and we would just be doing those. So I'm going to kind of do them around themes. It might be bugs and botanicals, or it might be all about me, it might be oceans. I was thinking I would do a dollhouse kit where you each get your own dollhouse, and each time we do water, we could do like wallpaper, and we could like make the little people that go in it and create furniture. And so I thought that might be a fun class. I'm still in the middle of designing it, and I'll have it on my website soon. Are there does anybody want to show their final pieces or where they are now before we log out here? Eli, you want to share? Great. Hi.
I want to share too.
I do.
Yeah, always.
1 second.
I'm getting there.
Oh my goodness.
I'm about to add on these thingies Hallie did.
Hey, friends, I gotta take a picture of this. This is wow. Oh, you cute kid. What? Yes, you nailed it. Oh my goodness. Hey, Eli, can I talk about warm and cool colors as you hold that up? Look at how he's designed kind of this spiral thing. There's movement in it. He's got some of the warmer colors, and then those oranges like pop right through. Wow, you are such an intuitive little artist. Really interesting. And Hallie, you're kind of making design out of it. Are you doing kind of the spokes? Amazing. Have you done collages before?
No.
They're kind of fun, don't you think? They're pretty wide open. Hi, Josie. Little Josie back there.
Josie, oh, Muzzy, come here. Josie wants to
No.
Thank you, Hurtados, oh, look at this guy. Who's that?
It's our aunt's dog.
Hi, we got the whole family. Hi, Josie. How's my buddy? Oh, I just love your family. It's so fun to I feel like you guys invite me into your family rooms. That's how it feels. So thanks for inviting me. Look at Josie. She's going to go to town on this. Oh, so cute. Hi. Love it. Is there anyone else that wants to share tonight before we zoom out, I guess is the word? Hi, Katie.
Hey.
You do get to share.
Yeah, I just need to finish this real quick.
Okay.
I'm almost done.
Your buddy Matt out of there?
Yep.
All right. That's all right. You did great. Hey, Matt.
Hey.
I love. Oh, whoa, that is gorgeous. What is that? What medium are you using?
Flower.
What mediums are you using? Did you pull out your acrylics? Oh, just Sharpie. That's so vibrant. So that might be one that you want to cut up, and you might not want to cut up. You get to do whatever you want. Like I said, sometimes we get kind of attached to our little pieces. Hi, Cody.
Oh,
Hey.
I like this better.
Hey, Buttons. Thank you
Yes?
for creating with me. Thank you for being part of this. I just love your family so much. You're
I like that better.
That's gorgeous, Katie. Yes, you've got a few of those papers. Do whatever you want with them. Hi, Cody. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi.
How are you? Ooh, tie-dye today. Hi, Cody.
Hi.
Is that a drinking fountain? Is that the smartest thing I've ever heard of? That is really smart. Yeah. Wow. Oh my gosh, I love you guys.
Uh-oh.
All right. Oh. Hey, I feel like I have the whole Button family. Stick all your heads in there and then let me take a picture of you. Cody, get
Allie!
I'm coming.
Wait.
Yeah, you know.
You have to come.
Hi.
What's up,
Oh
here's
my
one more.
Good.
Run! He's not coming.
Okay, get in there, Hallie. Yay! There's my little art friends. Yay! I love you guys so much. Thank you. Yay! Good to see you, cutie. Oh, what a cute family. All right, we're just doing show and tell with all the families. Okay, okay.
Last week I was working on the birdhouse and I wanted to show it to you.
Please, let's see it.
It's almost done.
Oh, wow. You guys, look at her birdhouse. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Look at that little bear. And honeycombs on the top. My gosh, the talent you have is so ridiculous. Always something. So fun. Have you gotta put some bird seed in there and see if you can collect some birds out there, Gabby.
Yeah.
I love you girls so much. Thank you so much.
Bye,
for
Jill.
starting this. Yes, love you, love you. How about these little cuties? Can we say hi
I
to
have to go.
Mhm. Thank you for creating with me this session. Do you guys have anything you want to show? Besides hedgehogs? She's like, no, just salt. Lily, do you want to share anything?
Chaos for 10 minutes.
Chaos. I saw a little wrestling going. I thought I'm just going to let them work it out.
Yeah.
Did you hurt each other?
Was bugging. So
Yeah.
we made
What'd
him
you
fight. Our brother came down and they were fighting it out.
Oh,
I
brother.
hit her. Got really mad.
Yep.
So naughty. Oh my
I made this light bulb.
Ooh, there's a value study right there. What's wrong with that? It's gorgeous. Great. Does all this make sense to you if you come back to it a little later? Did it make sense? You've done Mod Podge before, I know, Gwen. You good? Well, thank you for being part of this session. I sure love you. Just so sweet. Okay, I'm pulling you all to gallery view. Wave to each other, throw kisses. Love you all, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, love you. Bye, Josie.